Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. A Tasmanian woman battling MS has revealed how the stress of finding affordable housing is causing her health to deteriorate. Wendy Reid, who is wheelchair bound, and her husband are being forced to take refuge in a family garage. But the government says it is working on a solution.
Waiting for certainty on a stable home has taken a serious toll on Wendy Reid.
The MS is hard enough without all this other uncertainty. I can't describe how stressful it is actually. Not eating, not sleeping.
Evicted from a current rental due to renovations, 18 months on the housing waiting list is yet to produce a suitable option.
Completely unacceptable that someone who is wheelchair bound and needing access to physio equipment every day is going to have to pack up that physio equipment and put it into storage and live potentially in a tent and a camper van.
The pair say so far they have only been offered temporary shelter accommodation, an option the couple believe would cause headaches for wheelchair access or see them separated, which isn't viable, as Shane is Wendy's sole carer.
I need help. I can't open a bottle of water on my own, and there'd probably be steps and yeah, it just wouldn't work.
The Housing Minister is assuring support has been offered, issuing a statement to say a property is currently undergoing assessment to make sure it's suited to the family's needs long term.
We're continuing to make the investments that we need. That's why we set up Homes Tasmania, because we want to grow the housing stock available for Tasmanians.
The average wait times to access social housing in the state currently sits at around 16 months for priority applicants. But people are waiting well beyond that, often forced out on the streets or to live in unsuitable conditions.
Yeah, just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Now packing up their life for a space in a backyard garage. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
A plan presented to the state government to utilise 14 empty beds at a snug aged care facility is yet to be taken up. The site remains desolate due to the organisation being unable to attract nurses to staff the newly built wing. But Christian Homes Tasmania has put a proposal forward to bring in a public sector nurse to staff the area in an attempt to ease pressure on the hospital system.
We can offer these beds to the state government for them to occupy with elderly patients from the hospital to come to this facility, be cared for, and therefore free up those hospital beds.
The government says it will continue to work with the non-for-profit and its federal colleagues to find a solution. And a Tasmanian bank is urging those experiencing mortgage stress to speak with their lenders. BiState is also expecting interest rates to jump by 0.25% at tomorrow's RBA meeting. Its chief says staff at all institutions can provide advice and support during these challenging times.
It's a difficult time for people that have borrowed money, seen a lot of rate rises. So the first bit of advice is always call your bank if you're concerned about your finances. The banks are here to help and the lenders are here to help.
BiState believes the continuing rate hikes will soon end as global supply chains reopen and inflation slows down. A Tasmanian woman has been fined over the attack of a paddy melon, which she later posted on social media. Emma Ruth Whitenauer was fined $4,000 after being convicted on several animal cruelty offences. She filmed her Jack Russell attacking the animal in December 2021. The video, which is too graphic for us to show, was later uploaded to TikTok. Outside court, she urged others not to follow her lead.
Would you have any message for other people that are thinking of doing the same thing? Don't do it.
Wildlife advocates are calling for tougher penalties in a bid to stop others from doing the same thing.
If people aren't going to make the decision to not hurt an animal, through the good of their heart, then maybe the threat of a large monetary fine or prison time is what it needs.
Mr Irons also believes those convicted should spend time working in animal shelters. The operator of the West Coast Wilderness Railway has revealed 2 front wheels came off the tracks with nearly 100 passengers aboard. Acting General Manager Ian Robertson says the incident occurred last Tuesday, resulting in the immediate suspension of services from Strawn. Luckily, there were no injuries. The organisation says it needs more time to make the railway safer for all aboard, with the matter still under investigation. Half-day rail journeys from Queenstown are still operating. Investigations are continuing into why elevated heavy metals were detected in the water at the West Coast District Hospital in Queenstown. An initial round of testing from the water treatment plant storage has been conducted, along with tests at strategic points in the network and through customer meters. Results have not yet been released, but Public Health says residents do not have to alter their water consumption habits. A Tasmanian charity supporting homeless people is preparing for a busy winter as the housing crisis continues to bite. Hobart City Mission is asking the public to dig deep, launching a fundraiser for new showers at their Safe Space Centre.
A haven for those doing it tough. Each night, 35 people without housing use this safe space inside a former Hobart church to escape the elements. The amount of new people staff are seeing continuing to grow in 2022.
Of that 368, 200 were using our service for the first time last year.
The surge stretching resources, including access to their bathrooms.
So we've got 2 showers at the minute, there's 35 people. We have a waiting list, so you put your name in, put your name on the waiting list and book a time.
2 showers just isn't adequate at the moment, so some people do miss out.
The mission launching an online drive aiming to raise $200,000 to build 3 new showers, along with modern toilets. Staff say a quick wash can make a big difference.
If you can turn up to an appointment, clean, fresh, someone might look at you slightly differently.
Hobart City Mission is also preparing for a busy winter as the cost of living continues to squeeze the state's most vulnerable.
For people to go about their daily lives is just becoming harder and harder in the community, and for those who have the least, it is really, really tough times.
Warning some measures taken last year may have to be reintroduced in an effort to cope.
We did up our capacity with support from the department and government, and we took that up to 40, and I dare say we'll look to do the same again.
In a statement, Housing Minister Guy Barnett says the government has committed $7 million each year until 2026 to help the Safe Spaces operators manage demand. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Blind and low vision Tasmanians will be better supported on our streets through the use of tactile signage on e-scooters across Hobart. Developed in conjunction with Vision Australia, it's designed to help people better identify the devices and report issues such as badly parked scooters. The tactile method features raised lettering and a QR code, leading to Beam's 24-hour channels for support.
Those with challenges around vision aren't able to as easily manoeuvre around it. So by having this tactile sticker, it allows them to understand where they can contact us, and we can send someone out to solve that problem.
A wider regional rollout will be looked at following the trial. Scott Roth's Northern Tour has begun with students at Somerdale Primary, the first to learn from the basketball great. Inspiring a young generation of leaders and basketball fans, the Jack Jumpers head coach says he's making sure the brand is truly statewide.
Kicking off his Northern March, Scott Roth is spreading the basketball buzz. Starting out at Somerdale Primary, leaving students starstruck.
It's like a special moment. It was exciting and I was a bit nervous.
Felt like a real privilege having one of the big basketball stars come to school.
Roth will travel around the north and northwest for the next 5 weeks, painting the town green and educating our juniors.
What did you learn from Scott Roth today?
To be a good basketball player and be a good leader.
I asked what does it take to be a young leader? He said it's always about empathy and vulnerabilities.
Our goal is to have the #1 sport be basketball, and that kids have basketballs in their hand and continue to grow that. And we're seeing a huge increase just across the state with kids wanting to play and be involved in it. And then that leads you to getting better facilities.
Building the brand and boosting the basketball base in Tasmania.
To see where it's gone in the last 2 years is just incredible to our entire organization, but it's very humbling. Again, when you're walking around the state and you just see jerseys pop up and kids coming to get selfies, it's quite overwhelming at times.
The man at the helm of the JJs will travel around Launceston, Devonport, Burnie, Ulverston and Scottsdale, also spending some Sundays at local basketball competitions. hoping to inspire the next generation of jack jumpers to pick up the ball and shoot for the stars.
And to inspire one kid is obviously great, but we're trying to inspire a lot of kids to really be bigger than themselves and do something. So I've been right where they've been, and I'm hoping that they keep dreaming.
McKenna Bailey, 7 Tasmania News.
The message to Hoons from the state government is clear: antisocial behaviour won't be tolerated. Tasmania Police demonstrating their upgraded eyes in the sky, hoping they'll act as deterrents.
A stern warning from the Police Minister.
We have, through new technology, the capability to track you and to catch you.
The state government's providing $860,000 to Tasmania Police to keep our streets and neighbourhoods safe, with upgraded drones used for surveillance operations targeting Hoons.
We're also looking at targeting operations for those hooning vehicles and trail bikes in particular in rural locations that are annoying the community.
Barely a day goes by where we're not getting our drones in the air, providing important additional capability.
There are now more than 30 drones in Tasmania Police's fleet, costing between $18,000 and $35,000, featuring the latest technology and cameras and lasers to track down misbehaviour on our roads.
Drones simply offer policing just another tool that are available to them. It's changed policing a lot, but it hasn't changed what we do as police officers. We're still serving the community in exactly the same way we always have.
Keeping a close eye on potential road offenders, not the only use for the drones. They'll also be deployed in search and rescue operations, getting in places where a police helicopter cannot.
The drones are really good for getting an eyes on to an incident. The helicopter's good at that too, but it can be much broader.
We're using the drone technology to provide a 3D mapping tool for serious and fatal crashes, which provides an example of situational awareness to the coroner that we didn't have previously.
Police say there is still further room for the fleet expansion. Mark Zeta, 7 Tasmania News.
Applications have opened for the latest round of BiState Foundation's grants programs. In its 23rd year, community organisations will be able to access between $1,000 and $10,000 in support. RecLink was one of last year's recipients, securing $10,000 for specially made tricycles used for riding lessons at the Southern Support School, the 6-week program having a positive impact on student confidence.
We saw young boys and girls who hadn't ridden bikes, by the end of week 2 or 3 engaging the bikes.
Assist young Tasmanians achieve the best they can, and that's what our mission is, and we're very pleased to support lots of Tasmanian organisations.
Applications close on May 12. Tasmania's first indoor-outdoor Relay for Life is being dubbed a huge success. More than 600 participants spent 20 hours relaying over the weekend at the Silverdome. $113,000 has been raised so far and will go towards clinical research, prevention and supportive care services across the state. Hobart will host the next big event on March 18, followed by Penguin a week later.
It's the start of the signing season for the Jack Jumpers, with head coach Scott Roth hinting at the team's future. Exit meetings for players have wrapped up this week, with an offer for the JJ's MVP already on the table.
The only import that we've offered a contract to right now is Milton Doyle. We're hoping to get some news on him in the next week or two, and then our next focus will turn to our local players. We're in no rush to sign imports back. I don't think that will actually happen until April or May, other than Milt.
The head coach says they've been upfront with players and won't be addressing their contracts for another 6 to 8 weeks. Roth will now turn his attention to touring schools in the north before returning home in May. And Tasmania's Sam Fox is tracking well in the Oz Cycling Cross Country Mountain Bike National Series. The Launceston local dominating the competition in round 3 over the weekend in sunny Queensland.
It's a hard one in Nerang. It's obviously the old Commonwealth Games course, so it's technical, it's challenging, it's obviously hot here, so everything about the race is hard.
A punctured tyre saw him finish 4th in yesterday's round 4, although Fox remains on top, retaining the Elite Men's Series lead after his first 2-round wins last month. Tasmanian Jacob Despard has taken out the 100 metres open final at the Western Australia State Championships in Perth over the weekend. Dubbed Australia's fastest man in 2023, Despard crossed the finish line in 10.33 seconds. He'll compete in the Sydney Track Classic this Saturday. And the Clifton Beach Surf Life Saving Club has made history at the Open Championships this weekend. The club winning both the overall and handicap points shields. Homegrown talent Kate Klingeleffer and Sam Castle respectively taking out the women's and men's in-person events. Over 220 athletes from 10 clubs across the state competed in various activities over the weekend.
Good evening. Hobart and Campania on top of the list today with 24 degrees. Launceston and Devonport 21. Burnie registered 20 degrees. The east and southeast had the warmest weather. Grove and Friendly Beaches 23. Bushy Park 22. St Helens 21. Smithton and the Bass Strait Islands 20 today. Bit of rain too. Erebor 40 millimetres in the 24 hours to 9 a.m. And under this cloud today, Mount Reid recorded 28 millimetres to 3 p.m. More cloud there to the west is set to cross tonight and tomorrow. A broad area of cloud with thunderstorms covers tropical parts of Queensland and the Northern Territory. Just some patchy cloud over Victoria and South Australia. Plenty swirling over the ocean to the south though. Tomorrow we sit behind a cold front in a forceful airstream. A low over the far north connects to troughs up there. West-northwesterly winds up to 30 to 40 knots with swells in western waters peaking at 5 metres. Plenty to warn you about. A severe weather warning for damaging winds is out for the Bass Strait Islands, the northeast, east coast and parts of the west coast. We have a gale warning for waters between Tasman Island all the way around to Wineglass Bay. A strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters. Hobart 19, a few showers. Showers increasing for Adventure Bay on Bruny, windy day and top of 20, 13 the high for Tarraleah. Launceston a top of 18 degrees, a windy day with showers, same for Devonport, 18 and 19 the top for Bridport. Burnie much the same, 16 showery and windy, 16 also for Strawn and Marrawar. And for St Helens tomorrow 20. Windy for Swansea, a shower or two and 19, 20 the high for Whitemark. UV down to 7 but considered high. On Wednesday a possible shower over the islands and a few showers for Hobart and Strawn. A cold day with snow to 800 metres. Showers contracting to the west on Thursday, west to southwesterly winds. And on Friday another shower over the west but fine and sunny for St Helens and Swansea. A sunny 33 in Perth tomorrow, a shower for Adelaide, a windy day in Melbourne, 25 the top in Canberra, 34 in Sydney and a sunny 33 in Brisbane. And the clear conditions continue over Hobart at 17 at the moment, 17 also in Launceston but partly cloudy, bit of cloud over Devonport right now and currently 17 degrees. I love it. All this interesting weather we've had over the last couple of days, Kim, is going to get even more interesting over the next couple. Maybe we'll just skip autumn and go straight to winter.
How about straight to summer again? That'd make me happier. Thank you, Murph. See you tomorrow. And that is all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.